All right, so where are we when it comes to using AI tools to edit photos for stock photography? Stock photography is unique in the sense that these photos have to be yours. What you make has to be your property so you can sell it commercially or sell the license to it. When it comes to AI, this so-called AI, which in my opinion is still not intelligent, it's just a complex algorithm that gathers data and gives you something. Whatever, that's my opinion. Well, we have as consumers, I don't consider AI, but because it's gathering data from everybody else and it generates an image, we can't sell that commercially. Now, Getty gave us new rules in November 2024. So these are all the new guidelines with regards of using AI. I search for an Adobe stock, I search in Shutterstock, and I search in other agencies, and they don't have these rules. There's like nothing to find. Shutterstock has nothing on AI. The only thing I found on Shutterstock, which was hours of researching, even emailing people, and nobody could give me anything, it says if you're altering images using AI tools for minor adjustments, the changes must adhere to the general submission guidelines, such as avoiding excessive post-production modifications that could affect realism or quality. Shutterstock does not accept AI-generated images. Neither does Getty. You cannot sell images that you created using Midjourney or any of those in these agencies. Now, Adobe stock, yes. Adobe stock, again, I could not find any rules about editing photos using AI tools. So I went in a chat with their AI assistant, which is not intelligent at all. Finally, I got through to somebody else. It was literally, I spent hours chatting with people or computers trying to get to the right department. And what I got was, okay, Charles, thank you for staying with us. Yes, you can enhance an image and submit it to the contributor link. The image will be reviewed and feedback will be sent to make sure you are not overlapping the community guidelines, and everything else will be fine. Seriously, they have no rules as to how much you can edit a photo with AI. You'll receive an email, or reject it or not, months later apparently, and then they can tell you, no, you use too much, or that's too fake, or whatever. I'm not happy with the way Adobe does their things, but apparently there's no limits. Getty, however, has a new standard, and that's the one I wanted to talk about because things change often when it comes to AI. And if we stick to Getty's base, I think we're going to be safe with all the other agencies. So Getty divided this into retouching images and modifying images. So there are two different types of regulations. Retouching images, if you only want to make minimal changes to your content using traditional non-AI tools or generative AI tools, then follow these rules. So retouching is when you remove hair or blemishes in people's skin, which they have more on that too. But when you're removing trash from a landscape or removing logos, that kind of stuff, that is retouching a photo. So for this, it says, do not retouch your content with generative tools outside of the definition of retouching. You can't add anything to a photo. You can remove it, but you can't add it. Do not add new elements in Paint or extend the canvas. You cannot extend, like Photoshop, generative fill, extend the canvas. You can't do that. Do not retouch more than 10% of the photo. And they give an example. They break the screen into the rule of thirds. So now you have 9. That's 11.1%. So that's a little bit smaller than one of those things, is how much you can modify in that photo. And you can use AI up to 10% of that if you're going to remove something. If you're going to remove logos or clean up an area that has too many, the example they give are tools and a countertop. If you remove those, you'll be fine because it's less than that square here, that 10% of the photo. Only remove intellectual property, people, distracting elements, or from traditionally created media, camera, shot, illustrated, whatever. So you can only remove things that are distracting. Like I said, garbage, hairs, things that are in the way that, you know, maybe I have this thing here that's white and behind me that just looks a little distracting. I could use AI to remove that, but I also have regular tools in Lightroom that I can use to remove that as well. The other thing they have here is only use generative AI tools if they do not impose contractual restrictions on commercial use of content on which tools are used. Gonna have to be a lawyer to learn that one. Only retouch real model release people and do not alter their body. This is when it comes to people, you cannot like make them skinnier, make them younger, add makeup, body shape, the shape of body parts or expression, skin or permanent features, no contouring, airbrushing, or smoothing. So nothing like that. You can't change people's age, ethnicity, or gender expression. So whatever it is. You can modify a pimple that's going to be gone here in a week. So things that are not permanent, you can retouch, but you can't change all these things. You can't get, like, for example, I use, what's the name of this program? Portrait Pro or something like that. And with that program, I can put my face, add makeup, add all this stuff, and I can't do that. It's not allowed. And that's not even AI. That's just on regular people. You can't do these things. It is acceptable, however, to retouch stray hairs, temporary skin imperfections such as spot outbreaks, clothing imperfections, and background imperfections. So that's what they let you touch, just minor things. And you can use AI or non-AI for this, as long as it's less than 10% of the photo. That is retouching. Now, when we go to modification requirements, there's a whole nother set here. If you want to make significant changes to your content, either separately or in addition to work you've done under retouching requirements, you got to follow these rules. So the modification is, do not apply modification to your content with generative AI tools. Only use traditional non-AI tools. So that's when I'm modifying something. If I'm removing a tree and I'm just going to copy, I'm going to use in Photoshop, I can layers, I can copy one and paste it over there. That's fine, as long as I'm not using AI tools. Do not add location keywords, titles, or descriptions more specific than region, state, country if you modify recognizable named or famous locations. So you can do this. You can take a picture of, let's say you're making a vacation picture of Italy, and you take all the hotspots and you put them, all the buildings, and you put them in one photo. You can do that just fine, as long as they're your photos, and you can clone and stamp and isolate these structures by yourself without using AI. If you do it good without leaving jagged edges and stuff, then that's perfectly acceptable when it comes to stock photography. But don't name more than this, region, state, country, if you modify those places. If you put them all in one, that's all you need, region, state, and country, no more. The other thing here, do not alter models' body shape to make them look thinner or larger than they are in real life. So I have a photo of me and I want to pump up my muscles or something, I can't do that with Getty. Other agencies haven't said no, but Getty says no. Under these modification requirements, without using generative AI tools, you can retouch more than, without using AI tools, you can retouch more than 10% of the image total pixels, add new elements you own the copyright for, including composites. So yeah, like I said before, you can add all the buildings into one if they are your photos. Just don't take somebody else's photo and put it there. And you can retouch your models more extensively as long as you're not using AI, generative fill. The reason for this, again, is because this is not AI. It's a complex computer algorithm that's going through the internet, searching databases of similar images and giving you what you typed in. It's just like Google. When you search for something, it's going to search the history and give you something. So this is not intelligent. It's just a vast, complex algorithm. I've had ChatGPT lie to me in the past. I've had horrible results with Photoshop's generative fill because it doesn't understand what I'm asking. It's literally just, you say, add a duck here. So it's going to go and find a rubber ducky. Even when you try to do real life, once in a while they hit it, but for the most part, these things are not smart. What we have as consumers is not AI yet. It's getting there and it's learning a lot more, but for now, it's just using other people's photos, and that's why the agencies are having a difficult time with this, except, of course, Adobe, because Adobe is accepting pretty much anything, as long as you click that it is a generated image. Like I said, I did not get any response of how much you can modify with Adobe. Shutterstock, I emailed, I never heard back. So or the ones I heard back were not responsive. They were just like somebody's going through the list and not giving me an answer to what I'm asking directly. So for now, I just stick to Getty's 10%, and that should get you photos accepted. One more thing I wanted to add here is, how do you know if you're using AI tools or if you're not? Everything today says AI, and it's not. I keep saying it's not, and it's whatever. When I use Lightroom's AI select the sky thing, and you get these things here and it selects the sky, it's not AI. It just has an algorithm that goes and does it. When you do select subject, it selects your subject. When you do Lightroom denoise, AI denoise, or whatever it's called, that's not AI. It's using your raw image data to give you that. They just call it AI for marketing, because everything is AI now. It's not. It's all in the marketing. When you're using AI, it's going to replace things with something it found on the internet. So the easiest way for me to do this is shut the internet off. And then when you click the content-aware tool thing to replace something, or whatever AI-generated thing is to replace a logo, and it can't find anything on the internet because the internet's off, you're not using AI. Now you can go back to the other tools that you can use when the internet is off. That's like a cheat code, I guess. If it's not searching the internet, that means it's using your own file. It's not AI. It's using your own picture. That's what the agencies are trying to protect themselves from. It's all getting out of hand. Just remember, if you're worried about knowing which tools are not using AI or which ones are using AI, just shut the internet off. It's not going to go find anything because it's off. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this made sense. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.